I teach to be an advocate for students who don't have a voice and to be a part of the small moments of a student's life. I have a second grade student who reads at a kindergarten level, and recently he was able to read a sight word that we'd been working on for weeks. And this might seem trivial to some, but as an elementary ESL teacher, it's small moments like these that's why I teach. It's moments when students are able to show their profound strengths.
I get my inspiration from so many different places, from my amazing teachers at Shell Elementary all the way up through Stephen Decatur High School. I remember Miss Ingram in 5th grade actually used to let me help her at the end of the day lay out the lesson plans for the next day and change the date on the board. That was my favorite thing to do, I think. But then my family as well. I don't have any educators in my family, but my grandparents never missed an opportunity to take me someplace like Gettysburg or Williamsburg on a weekend vacation. My mom bought me, I think, every book I ever asked for and then some. So I have grown up with a love of learning and education, and I'm just inspired to pass that love on to my students.
One of the reasons I teach is because I truly feel like I can make a positive difference in every child's life, whether it's through learning or love. I often feel like I have taught with a bunch of students who enter the classroom each day, and I am one of the most positive role models in their life. So whether they come to school and they're there for the teacher or they're looking for a friend, we are some of the people that really make a difference in their lives, because unfortunately in their home life they may not find that peace. Another reason I teach is because I feel like I have had students in the past come into school and I hate school and I can't do this and I don't understand, and by the end of the year those are the same students that are coming up to me and saying, I want to be a teacher when I grow up and I can do this and thank you so much, you made my year so wonderful, and because I know I'm changing their lives.
I love seeing the spark in my kids' eyes when they've learned something. As a music teacher, I loved that my class was a little bit different than the regular classroom. I loved that they were allowed to be creative in my room, that they were allowed to be themselves. Now that I'm now on the other side in a regular classroom, I feel like I'm in a very unique position. And now I love teaching because I'm responsible for my 19 children. And I get to see them grow from day to day. And it's just an amazing experience to watch them learn more reading skills, more math skills, and to watch them grow as people and to grow our little community and watch them help others and really be kind to each other.
My parents instilled in me a love of learning. And we were always, looking for ways to learn. We had a set of encyclopedias growing up. So if I asked my parents a question, Dad's response was always, go look it up. So I loved to learn even then. But I had a 6th grade teacher she was my math teacher, and she started every day with just brain teaser puzzles, and that really got me hooked in. And you could see the love of her students through all of her actions, and she just really put that desire in me to be a teacher. And so from 6th grade on, I wanted to be a math teacher, I knew. And I am very blessed to have known for a very long time what my calling was in life.
It's like a chess match, teaching, and I love chess. Most people, when they use the analogy of a chess match, they have 2 opponents. But instead, it's more like I'm a chess coach. The biggest challenge, especially I would say with middle school, is kids trying to find their way. They're at a place in middle school where they're independent enough that we're not having to wipe noses and tell them everything they have to do, but they're still moldable. They haven't decided their path in life just yet. And so trying to help kids see that the moves that they make today are not just going to impact tomorrow, but down the line it's going to have a bigger impact, and helping them to see that you got to think 3 and 4 and 5 moves ahead. So that way the things that you're doing today are not just going to help you tomorrow or next week, but help you for years to come. So I love what I do.
I teach to, I guess, to inspire. I work with students that have disabilities, so I love working with children. So when I'm working with them, those moments that they have where they realize they've accomplished something or they've done a great job and that they're learning, constantly how to communicate and how to socially interact. And we celebrate it, whether it's small or whether it's huge, we always celebrate it, and they are so proud. So I love when I'm able to see that in their faces, because it's just so amazing, that they realized I did it, I can do that.
I teach, and it kind of sounds cliche, but I teach because I really want to make a difference. I really enjoy seeing my students light up when they learn something new. And as a music teacher, especially, to see a child go from kindergarten to 3rd grade and develops over that course of time into a great musician or great performer, a great singer, it just really, I guess, melts my heart a little bit to see them, and also just to see them mature and progress and their character to change over the years. A lot of my students, I like to teach music, but I like to say that if I teach character that day, it's a good day too. I just like to make a difference in their little lives.
I teach for the opportunities that it gives me. I teach because my personal interests involve reading, writing, having fun, and most importantly, just being myself. And in teaching, I get that opportunity. I also get the opportunity to work with little people, which is the most exciting thing in the world. There is nothing more powerful than looking through the eyes of a child and molding them and motivating them and believing in them and encouraging them to be the best that they can be. I also love, in the teaching profession and in education, it is constant change and constant challenge, and I love to step right up to that plate and do the best I can.
One of the challenges I see is this idea of not understanding the why. And what I mean by that is, why we're doing these things, what's happening. I found this great quote by one of Google's lead educators online, and he basically said that we shouldn't ask students what they want to be when they grow up. We should ask them what problems they want to solve. And so I found that very powerful, that we need to make sure students and teachers always understand why they're doing things. For students, they need to be inquisitive. I want them to be passionate about what they're studying, and I try to allow them that creativity and that insight in my classroom. So I think knowing the why and reminding ourselves, either student or teacher, every day as to why we're here, why we're doing this, why we love what we do, is really important, and that's what I am trying to continue.
Well, I teach mainly because the master sergeant you see in front of you today is not the guy that 35 years ago. A lot of people helped me get to where I am today. Teachers, mentors in the Marine Corps, etc. I feel as though this is my way of giving back to help others that may found themselves in the same type of predicament I was in when I was a kid. And I find it very rewarding to teach. I kind of got the best of both worlds. I was able to continue to wear the uniform, and I'm able to teach. The kids today inspires me. It's nothing more enjoyable than watching a kid who once thought that he or she couldn't do a particular task, and they achieved that goal and they passed with flying colors, and that is very rewarding.
I teach for the aha moments. I try to find an aha moment every day in my classroom, whether it's small or big. Just having the light bulb go off and seeing that in my students when they've been struggling with a concept just makes my heart do a happy dance. Our most recent aha moment was a student who struggles with just finding inside him that he actually can do it. And actually coached him every day, over and over. Yes, you can do it. And he finally was able to sit and independently write a full page response and got 100% on it. So that was enough for me to know that I made a difference in his life.
I always wanted to be a teacher. I don't know if it was built in my genes, but I didn't ever see myself doing anything else. But my second grade teacher opened my eyes and showed me the enthusiasm, the love for learning, what you can do in a classroom, how you relate to the students. I never had such a feeling I did as my second grade teacher, Mrs. Fox. And she forever has been in with me because she was my first big inspiration. In college, my mentor teacher showed me the standards, showed me how it is to be connected to students and what it really meant to be a high-level standard teacher and going in every day and building up those relationships. And I knew that's what I wanted to be, that's what I strove to be. So she really gave me the pathway and sort of the cherry on top of what it was like to be a great teacher.
I teach because I believe the students and I can create magic together. Every morning they come busting into my room, they're full of energy, they're like little sponges, and I wouldn't change them for the world. But I do realize that the only thing a third grader can control is their learning. So I try to tell them that they have to choose to be a learner. It's their responsibility. And that is my focus in my third grade classroom. So when they walk in, I want them to be in a safe place. I want them to feel like they can make mistakes and learn from their mistakes. And I try to make a connection with each and every one of them. And they're the ones that make me an effective teacher. And over my years, I realized that when I listen, when I truly listen, that the magic happens.